Steve, this is plot 110, August 2019. A quick tour around the plot. Start off, tomato plants. 6 of them here, there's another 6 at home. They're little plum tomatoes, slightly stripy from what I remember. They're still very green at the moment. I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks they start to turn red. They seem a little bit late today, but they're doing something. The other night we came to a plot and just slowly, very slowly, we're sorting out this path here. Myself and Tom are coming up and just trying to make it a little bit more respectable, because when you look round the other side, it's a little bit messy at the moment and work in progress. But on the plots, raspberries. Again, these we've inherited these raspberries. I'm not too sure what they are, but they're on their second lot of fruiting this year. I think the birds are going to get quite a lot of them if I'm not careful, but I am picking them each time I come up. Lesson to learn for next year is plant a lot more peas. I thought I'd planted loads of them, but they really don't go particularly far. While we had a few sort of eaten by slugs, which I guess reduced what we had, we also had great success with the ones we did have, but we just didn't plant enough. So yes, we've picked peas this year, but we only lasted a couple of meals. Next year, note to myself is to grow a huge amount more. But what has been really good is over here, cucumber plants. They've never grown cucumbers before. These are the outside variety, slightly tougher skin, slightly smaller, a little bit spiky, but they're sort of spikes that sort of just rub off. And then along here, leeks, which I just leave really. They keep themselves to themselves. I'll weed them, and next year we'll put them out. A few carrots here, which are just ones I grew in pots at home, just to see how they fared. So I only put them in a couple of weeks ago, and they're still pretty young. Which means the real carrots are all along here, and there's a whole 2 rows. We've been picking a few thin ones, just small ones, just to thin it out, and yeah, hopefully we'll carry on. We had huge problems with these early on in the year, flea beetle, and I've sowed a load more, and it looks like they seem to have survived this time. Chard we have here, which one of them went to seed last week with hot sun. Here you can see the end of blackcurrant bushes, which we had enough to make 2 jars of jam this year, which is better than last year. We had absolutely nothing because the birds ate it all. This then is our bean section, if you like. So we've got French beans, yellow ones and green ones. We've got runner beans. We've also got a whole load of beetroot plants planted around the side. We've been picking French beans constantly every week for about a month now, and we've got a fridge full of them. But we use them quite a lot in cooking, so all is good there. The runner beans, I think I can see 1 or 2 which I could probably pick today, but I might leave it till a bit later on, maybe to midweek, and there's a few more waiting to go. But this is all beans, all beetroots. Any vegetable starting with B is planted in here. Parsnips, celeriac, a little bit more beetroot behind me that you can't see. The beetroot, by the way, is a mixture of Baltardi and just coloured, a mix of coloured beetroot, so yellow, red, white, which is quite nice. I like reliability and stuff with the normal sort of Baltardi, but it's quite nice have a little bit of a surprise when you pull something up and you find, oh, it's a bright yellow beetroot. That's a bit different. But going back to parsnips, they got attacked hugely by flea beetle, and pleased to say they've all mostly survived. I think we probably lost about a couple of them. I put this netting around which has since dropped off just to stop any low flying insects, but to be fair, I think it's probably past that now, and I'll probably going to remove this netting. But never grown parsnips before, so not quite sure what to expect. We had one plant flower, which was a bit of a pity, bright yellow flowers. I pulled that out, but at the same time I actually pulled out another one by accident because it was close by. I didn't realise, but it was a little baby parsnip, a little bit too small to actually cook, but quite reassuring to know there is something going on underneath. So that's going to be quite interesting later on in the year or early next year to see just what we've got there. So what we've got here, this is swede plants. Started off at home, put in the ground probably about 2-3 weeks ago. They've been attacked quite a bit by slugs, which I wasn't quite expecting. So there's a few, especially down the edge here, which is only really just a couple of leaves, and that's a little bit worrying. But I've sowed more at home, so give it another couple of weeks. And this other section here will have similar. We'd never grown swedes before, but we did last year, and it was a huge success. So I'm kind of hoping the same might happen again this year. This is kale. This is the Russian kale. And I've got 4 plants here, which I said I was only going to plant 2, but they all sort of struggled a little bit growing at home. Got attacked quite a bit by whitefly, and I thought, well, I'll stick them all in, and I'll see what happens. And amazingly, or not amazing, because they do seem pretty hardy vegetables. They've all sort of survived. It's a vegetable we're not particularly keen on eating. You know, we eat it, so that was the reason for only doing 2 this year. We did 4 last year, but you know, it's all plants. So now the story behind the brassica cage this year is last year it was a bit of a bit of a mess in a way, because I just put bamboo sticks in, spread the netting over the top, and tied it all down, and it did the job, you know, I must admit, but it looked pretty messy and eventually sort of blew down. This year, one of my plot neighbours was giving away the blue piping, and I've got a whole load more over this side as well, ready to go in, and I thought, bingo. So sticks in the ground, the piping over the top, the netting over the top of that, and you can't quite see it now because the wind is sort of blowing it across, but there's bamboo across the top to sort of give it a bit more strength. It needs raising now. Underneath here we've got sprouts, we've got cabbage, we've got broccoli, and we've got purple sprouting, small purple sprouting here. The sprouts here, after the wind of last week, really could do with staking up and sticking up straight, and I think that's what I'm going to try and do today. It would also mean I'll have to heighten this a bit, so it would probably mean grabbing more bamboo sticks, maybe taller ones, just upping the height, hoping I've got enough ground clearance at the bottom. But I'm pretty pleased with these. It's a whole load of cabbages, I guess. And just to show you can't have enough cabbage, in here there are 6 winter cabbages, all going on quite well. I was only going to plant 3 of them, but it seemed a bit of a shame to get rid of all the others, so I stuck them all in, and they're doing really well. They're using this pallet collar not as a raised bed, but really just to pin the netting down and to sort of keep pests out and things, and it's doing a good job here. Gooseberry plants here, netting, I can take that off now. Rhubarb needs picking. This is a pumpkin plant, or it was. This is, I'm pretty sure it's either a courgette or it's going to be a butternut squash. Either way, neither of them have done anything at all, and I've got another couple down there which are still surviving, but just haven't grown, and they've been in the ground for about 2-3 months. I'm not quite sure why.